Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Outside the Field. Today we're going to go over our rankings for you guys and let you know some of the players that have been moving up and down for us. Crabtree and I sit down on the same day because we do have really busy schedules, and we kind of record out all our videos for you guys over the week. So this is our last one, guys, so please bear with us if we start to drag. We're definitely going to do our best to make sure we give you that premium content. But this is our grind day, guys. We spend all weekend watching the games, packing the stats for you. This is where all the magic kind of happens. So, Crabtree, what do you got for us? Anything before we start our video today?
Just appreciate all the likes and follows. Appreciate everyone subscribing. Thanks for giving us the time of day.
Guys,
Helping us try to get this off the ground.
hit us up on the Twitter, too. We're honestly really active there. So if you have
Yeah,
start stits, waiver wire questions, make sure you message us, shoot us a question. We're really
yeah.
good about that one. So, Crabtree,
Feel
honestly,
free.
specifically Crabtree, he's really, really good on the Twitter. So
Yes, sir.
if you
If you have
need
any questions on like a last minute lineup, and you don't know what to do, hit us up with a follow. We will be right. We'll say 60% of the time. No, I don't. I can just joke.
No, last week our start stats came out. Our starts were a little iffy, but if you sat any of the players we told you to, it was basically on the money, and you were probably pretty thankful. So,
Going against stats though, we did miss some last week, but stats like that was the right move. Like Lamar Jackson, that's it that I told you to last week. If you're looking at stats in past years, that was the right move. I apologize if you lost one because of that, but I was going solely off of what happened in the past. I forgot to take into account that he was due for a win against the Chiefs. So
so we're gonna just
if you,
hop.
if you yes, go ahead.
We're just gonna hop into the rankings, y'all, and tell you kind of
Sure.
some players we have up and moving down. Um, Moving up, I had Russell move up a few spots. I think I had him at like 8 or 9, and I have him up to QB 6. He's playing really good. I left a lot of my players in the same because I didn't really want to move around things too much. I got Tannehill dropping, Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, and Derek Carr all making jumps forward. At the end of the QB1, these guys are all looking really good right now. So there's 3 guys that I honestly feel really good about.
Sir, I moved a little bit as well. I put Russell in my top three. After that, great performance by Lamar on Sunday night, I moved him into my top four. Dax
Oh, so you put
rounding
him
out
where
my
I had him last week, right? So ultimately, what you're telling me is Chris Weideman is always right about Lamar Jackson, and you're just a Lamar Jackson hater for no reason.
just can't get on the board for somebody that's a quarterback that runs the ball like
But
that.
you
But
enough for quarterback 4, huh?
yeah. Rounding out my top 20, maybe a surprise pick for you guys, but Taylor Heineke, very good quarterback. He played phenomenal last year. I think this guy is only on the up and up. I don't think he loses his job again this year. Definitely somebody that if you're streaming, take a look at. Let's move on to running backs, Chris. Did you have anybody that you moved pretty high up or pretty low down?
I think I gave Aaron Jones a nice little boost after that game. Um, he was someone I felt really good about. Just really quickly, someone I did forget on quarterbacks. We both had Joe Burrow sliding just a little, not big worries there, but he's been a little inconsistent and a little turnover heavy. So that's something to maybe keep an eye on. Running backs, I mean, honestly, man, I didn't have a lot of huge movement. If I did, it was more in the middle tiers. I think we're getting some more clarity there. Like I had Chase Edmonds, Damien Harris, Tyson Williams moving up to the back half of RB2. I had James Robinson move down towards the back half of the running backs twos. Darrell Henderson, I think he's kind of showing you that he can maybe be a fringe RB1 guy. The big worry there is going to be the health. He did get a little banged up, but he does look good to play game 3. But I think as long as Darrell Henderson can stay healthy, I think he's going to give you that 16, 17 points a game and a really great offense. What are you thinking about the running backs right now, man?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. A lot of my moves came from the middle tier as well. I will say I did move up Derrick Henry to number 2. I think with that offensive line and how poor it is and showing us what he did, I think he's still here to stay. I think he's going to have another phenomenal year.
So are we a little down
It'll be
on
hit or miss.
Dalvin
So
Cook then? Are you a little down on Dalvin Cook?
No, it's not even that. I think Dalvin Cook is still a phenomenal player, and I think he's going to put up his points. But just anybody that puts up 180 yards, 3 touchdowns with that poor of a offensive line, like you can't not put him higher than the rest. And the only reason he's not number one is because there's a guy named Christian McCaffrey, and there's nobody that's going to pass him up. Um,
Uh,
moving on,
I
go
will
ahead, Chris.
say, just really quickly, guys, most of our lists are based pretty heavily off like straight PPR. It's basically the only format him and I really play. It's a pretty common format. So, I mean, half PPR, you maybe have to change your expectations just slightly from these standard. They're going to apply, but they're not going to apply great. So just keep that in mind when looking at the rankings, guys, that these are more PPR based. Saquon Barkley is someone that is continuing to slide down both of our lists, I notice. It's a player that I think we're both just really struggling to kind of see the grasp towards RB1. Clyde sliding a lot. He's just not looking very consistent, and he really looks like a player that isn't going to have a great weekly floor, and he might just be a boom or bust play for you.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree. I had Saquon move down one on my list. I had him 17 last week. He's 18 for me this week. Um, Somebody I know that we're both different on is Zeke. Obviously, we touched up on that on earlier videos. Chris has got him at 9. I got him at 17. I think that I'm right there, but we'll see. And then I know Aaron Jones is the only other guy that I really moved up big. I had him at 14, 15. I moved him up just out of respect for the big performance. I'm still not sold. I'm never sold on him, but we will see. If I am wrong, I will be here to admit it to you guys. You had anybody else you see on running backs?
no, I mean we have Nick Chubb a little higher. We have Saquon and Gibson a little low. So those are just players that I'd maybe say really stand out from our list compared to like the experts. Moving over to receiver, Jacob's keeping up with Tyreek at 1. I'm keeping up with Adams at 1. I think the big player that made a lot of movements for both of us this week was Cooper Kupp. We both got him now at receiver 8, which, believe it or not, is 2 spots down from the experts at 6. So, I mean, it's a player that you and I both moved up a lot this week, and it's somehow we're still lower. So, I mean, what's going on in our heads with Cooper Kupp right now?
It's not the fact that I think he's not great. I just think these guys are guys that I would rather have on my team. That again, this is something. This isn't your weekly one to where hey, I think this is going to be the top guy. This is just like long term outlook on the season of who I want on my team. Cooper Cup is obviously he's going to be top 10 going forward, but he's somebody I want on my team. Unfortunately, though, I'd rather have the 7 players that are ahead of him. Cooper Cup and Chris Godwin are a coin flip for me, though, just because of how much I love Cooper Cup.
It,
Outside of that,
Is CD
uh,
Lamb in the like same category? I guess you have him above Calvin Ridley. Like to me,
yeah,
I'd say CD, Cooper Cup, Chris Godwin. I mean, it's kind of all a coin flip. I think they're all going to be pretty similar players for you.
Speaking of CD Lamb, he's one of the guys that really jumped for me this week. Last week I had I think Amari Cooper at 4 or 5, and I had CD Lamb lower on the top 10 list.
So you said you got Allen Robinson moving down. Sorry guys, we're now back. Sorry about that. You got Allen Robinson moving down. Who else is moving down for you?
I had Allen Robinson going down. I had Robert Woods going down. Um, Cortland Sutton's on the way up for me.
Debo Samuel's on the way up.
Marquise Brown is on the way up for me. Sterling Shepard's another guy that I like a lot. And
Brandon
that really
Cooks.
you said what?
I think Brandon Cooks is on the move up for me. I mean, him and Tyrod Taylor are just making it happen despite how terrible the offense is. So I think that's a player I'm starting to feel basically receiver 2 comfortable with. I got him right there
Yeah.
at 26.
The only reason I did not move him up this week is because Tyrod Taylor did go on the IR, unfortunately. So this is somebody that with Mims coming in and Tyrod Taylor being out a few weeks, I'm going to leave him where he's at. But that rounds out my top 40. What about you, Chris? Do you have anybody that was pretty big on the ups and downs for you?
DJ Chark took a big jump down. Um, Tyler Lockett take a nice jump up. I got him up to receiver 19. I think I had him a bit lower after last week. I mean, I think he's going to be involved this year. think he's maybe going to be a little bit less consistent than we're seeing so far this season. DJ Moore, I didn't really move him up a lot, but he's a guy I'm starting to feel really good about. Got him at receiver 16. Mike Williams, I moved up to receiver 25. I think he's doing really good right now. A lot of these rookie receivers, I didn't want to move around too much. I kind of try to keep them on the pretty similar spot. I think Devontae's pretty locked in his role. Jamar's locked in his role, and I think Jalen's locked in at his role. So I think all three of them are looking good. It'd probably go Chase, Devontae, Jalen, respectively, but I think I feel really good about all of them. And then I also snuck Rondale Moore there at the very back because I think he's going to find a way to make plays this year. He might not be super consistent, but I think he will give you some nice boom weeks.
Nice.
Sweet. So is that all you had to say about the receivers? Robbie Anderson, I straight dropped, guys, from the top 40. Crabtree still has him at receiver 34, but I mean, he's not getting involved right now. If you take out his big catch week 1, he's basically just a straight bust, non-playable player. So he's someone I'm just kind of hopping out on real quick, y'all.
I'm ready to give up completely, but it's getting there.
Tight ends. I made the big move, a couple big moves here actually. I got TJ Hawk all the way up to tight end 2, which I think I had him at tight end 4 behind Kittle and Waller last week. And then I got Rob Gronkowski, guys, up at tight end 4. And like we said, this is a season-long outlook. So just with Gronkowski already having 60 points and Kittle only having 20, guys, I mean, it's going to be a big uphill battle for Kittle to get back above Rob Gronkowski. And Gronkowski and Tom Brady are right on the same page and cooking right now, guys. So how do you feel about me making these decisions in my rankings, Crabtree?
I love Hawk at 2. I was this close to doing it myself. Outside of the top 10, we're not really too interested. There's not really a lot of guys that you want to even put in your starting lineup.
I'd actually maybe disagree with you slightly. I think those top 13 are actually like pretty set in stone. But after you hit 13, I think it's a straight drop off. You end 13 with Higbee, Ives, Goddard. But I mean, I think after that, it's a straight just.
I can agree with you there. I got Gronkowski at 6 right now. I still have a little bit more faith in Fant with Jerry Jeudy being out. I still think he's going to get a lot of the receptions. I got Hawk at 3. I definitely see him, if he has one more good week, I definitely see him jumping Darren Waller. Kittle is obviously a 4. I got Andrews, Pitts, Logan, Thomas, and Robert Tonyan rounding out my top 10. Pretty much the same. The only difference I really see in us is having is Noah Fant. I have him at 5. I'm a little bit more of a believer in him than you are, where you have him at 9. And obviously you're high on Gronk right now, which I'm not high. I just don't have him as high as you do. But I like it. I think we're there. I just think we did free up Fant a little bit.
I think Jonnu, guys, at the bottom of that tight end spot, I don't think he's gonna be a great play, but I think he's gonna be a good floor play week in, week out. So if you could get Jonnu, if you have Jonnu and you don't have another tight end, it's not sexy, it's not great, but I think in that offense, he's going to be one of their more utilized weapons week in, week out. So it is what it is, and you can feel okay about having him on your roster if you do. So, but at the back end, maybe watch out Pat Freemuth, whatever the rookie. I mean, he is a rookie tight end, so kind of like Kyle Pitts, he's got a large learning curve ahead of him. But he's already jumping above Eric Ebron and seeing a decent amount of targets, so maybe he continues to have a good season. Kyle Pitts, guys, I don't think he's going to have a great season, but I think he's showing us that down the line he's going to be the player we need him to be. And I think he shows you he might be a middle-of-the-road tight end this year that can give you decent production. Anything else you got on the tight ends, man, before we get out of here today?
No, I think that's good. Again, thank you guys for watching.
It's past his bedtime, y'all. He's trying to hurry up.
Yeah. No, it really is. I got a 18-month-old in the other room sleeping, so I got to be up early. But appreciate you guys liking, subscribing. Please, if you guys have anybody that is interested in fantasy football, give them our Twitter handle or our YouTube. Please let them know about us.
We'll get them dubs. Big dubs.
Big dubs. Going out for 3-0 this week. Let's go.
Thanks, guys, for watching. Have a great week.